This is Knight's Haberdashery Learn to Knit course, week 1. I'm going to show you how to do the knit stitch. I've cast on a number of stitches. You're going to have more than that. You're going to have 68 because we're going to be making a hat. But I've got a number of stitches and I'm going to show you how to proceed with knitting. So you'll have all these stitches that you've cast on your needle. We need to then turn the needle round so that you've got it in the opposite hand, and you're going to be working with your working wool on this side from the ball side. The tail just needs to stay out of the way. You'll have less of a tail because I haven't done all of the 68 stitches. You then need to think about how you're going to hold your wool because you need to apply some tension. You'll need your other needle. Now, I hold mine and I apply the tension by wrapping it around my little finger like that. But other people don't. Other people just have it across here, or sometimes people have it sort of just loose. They don't, but as long as you can apply tension to it, that's the most important thing. You can actually go like this and have it wrapped around the one finger like that. It just enables you to provide a little bit more tension. But I'm going to do it how I normally do it, which is wrapping it around a finger. You need to push these stitches up a little bit to the end, because otherwise it's going to be hard to take them off. And we're going to do it a bit similar to how we did when we cast on using the thumb method. We're going to put the needle in. Instead of our thumb, we've got the other needle. And we're putting it from bottom to top, and it's crossing at the back, like so. And we're then going to hold on to it with the left hand or non-dominant hand, so that you've got this hand to put your wool around. So you put your wool around. It's almost exactly like we did when we cast on with the thumb method. And then we push it, and you can use this finger to help you push it under like this, so that you can see we've formed the stitch with the working ball end wool this side, and then we just need to pull slightly up with this hand so that that stitch comes off, and we've formed our first knit stitch. Push it down a bit again, and again you're putting your needle from bottom to top behind. You're taking this yarn round, you're pushing it through so that you can see the loop of the yarn under there, and then with this needle you're pulling that loop off. And you can see how I've got the tension here that enables this to be quite stiff. You're going round, because I'll show you what happens if you don't have any tension. If you don't have tension, you're just taking it round like this and then going like that. It's hard to get this piece formed here, underneath here, and then it's all loose, and then you'll get a very loose stitch like that. So you need to somehow provide your tension. Now, people will do this differently. You can just hold it like that and then take it around, but make sure that you hold it tight again when you're forming the stitch. People have all sorts of ways of doing it. You can sort of take it round fingers like that. You can let go and go across like that, or you can do it like I do it by taking it around a finger. I do either that one or that one, so that I've got the tension provided there. Now, when you get quicker and better, which I'm sure you've seen people, you then just slip with your finger the stitch around like that. But to start with, you'll be doing it quite slowly. And that is forming your knit stitch. Now, if I do it a bit more quickly so that I can get to the end and show you what we do when you get to the other end. So obviously you're going to have way more stitches on your needle. Pull out a bit more. And this is where, if you've got it tight, it's really hard to get your needle in here. You'll be struggling, which is why you needed it a bit loose to start with, so that you didn't have to really work hard to get your needle in there. We're just going to get to the end of the row. And you can see now how it doesn't really matter that the cast on stitches weren't particularly even. And there we are, it's twisted round a bit, just untwist it. You've got your first row of knit there. So then you just turn it round, you swap hands, and you turn your work round, swap hands with the needles, and then you start again. Push your work up to the end a bit again, put the needle through, round, round, pull the stitch off. Bottom to top, around, underneath, pull the stitch off. And you can see that we're starting to form some stitches here. And you get, this is called garter stitch. When you do all knits, every row that you do is knit, it's called a garter stitch, and that is what we're going to be making our hats using a garter stitch. And it will start to form the little bobbles, and they'll be on both sides. There we are, that is your knit stitch forming garter stitch.